Good morning, Cubs fans. Danny Rocket here in Rose Hill Cemetery after another Cubs walk-off win. That's two in a row. It was a hit slash error. My little Michael Bush shot in extra innings. The other day it was Conforto hitting the walk-off. This is an exciting time to be a Cubs fan, and what can you say? You have to do it against your division rivals. The Reds have had our number over the last couple of years, so it's nice to get a couple of wins under our belt against the team that was formerly leading this division in, well, it's early in the season, so I'm not going to make too much of it, but they were in first place as recently as last week. Now we hold the lead, Cubbies. Um, I don't really want to talk about baseball right now. Things are going great, so I don't want to jinx it by like complaining about other things that are going on with the team because, hey, Palencia is back. That's good news. But, we've had to do it with bullpen guys that we didn't really expect to be on the team. So I don't want to jinx it by like talking about any of that or the things that the Cubs might need to do by the trade deadline to improve the team so you can beat the Dodgers or the Yankees. This is all that matters. You know what I mean? Like you got to look with the eyes on that prize. But they got a good squad, man, and the Cubs should win this division handily. So, but what I wanted to talk about is ticket prices. Now, first of all, let me start by saying it's cold still in Chicago. It's been a cold May. We've had a couple days in the 70s, and that's been nice. But for the most part, it's been chilly out there. And so let me make sure this is on. I'm going to take off my Fanarchy hat. Sponsor of Danny Rocket, the Sunranto Show, the Bleacher Bunch. Great new baseball app, by the way. You should check it out. iPhone only. Sorry, Android people. Keep texting green, though, and see where it gets you. But, yeah, it's been cold. It's cold here in Chicago. And so that's going to affect ticket prices greatly. Nobody wants to sit there and freeze their butt off. Baseball is a warm weather sport. It just is. And I hate all these early games played in the cold because the players really aren't able to do what baseball wants you to do, which is hit the ball, catch the ball, you pitch the ball, all those things. It become incredibly difficult to do when it's cold outside. So I hate that there are so many games here early in the season in Chicago because there's been a lot of cold games and some warm ones too. So, but mostly cold, and that's going to affect ticket prices greatly. So it's been pretty inexpensive, like $8, $10, a lot of free tickets if you know people going around right now, and even some of the club seats where you get free food and you can get as drunk as you want on high-end liquor or beer or whatever. You get all the snacks you want. Even those tickets have been going for under $200 a seat, and I've seen people look at that and be like, "Oh my God, why are tickets so cheap at Wrigley Field?" They're way under face. I mean, way under face. The Cubs charge an exorbitant amount for these tickets. Never go to the box office. Not never, but mostly don't go to the box office. There's other ways to get tickets. Because the Cubs have a very large season ticket holder float. There's a lot of people with disposable income who view their season tickets as a sunk cost. And a lot of those tickets are up for sale on the different ticket resellers. And also, the Cubs put tickets up there. Frankly, I've caught them doing it numerous times, like because they put up a whole row, like in the upper deck, and you're like, this is not a season ticket holder's row. Nobody has all 24 seats across this row. It's the Cubs, and they're selling that seat on the secondary market to see what kind of price it can fetch. And then they take it all off at once. That's how you catch them. Like you're like, oh well, this isn't even a real listing. This is just them trying to sell seats in a different way. But I digress from my actual point, which is that ticket prices are cheap. Number one, weather. But number two, and we got to talk about this because this is going on all over the country in all sorts of industries. Look up blue dotting. Now, I had never heard of this term till very recently, and I don't know exactly why it's called blue dotting. I should look that up, but it's people that are canceling concerts that aren't selling. There's tons of concerts getting canceled. Europeans coming here to perform, canceled. You've got a lot of American artists of all sorts of different genres canceling their concerts because they can't sell tickets. And the Cubs can't sell tickets. I've seen people talking about not being able to, that the bobblehead industry has totally, the bottom has fallen out of bobblehead worth, and that things that used to be going for hundreds and hundreds of dollars for this little piece of plastic, this little toy, is now not really fetching a price at all. So you think about the old days with baseball cards when, you know, they were worth a ton and then they were worth nothing and now they're worth a bunch again and maybe they're going to be worth nothing again because really you can't eat them, you can't spend them. I mean, the worth is also relative to what you can get somebody to pay for it. And that is the truth with the supply and demand of tickets right now. It's cold. Nobody wants to sit in the cold and watch a baseball game or play one. And the blue dotting thing. Well, have you seen the price of gas? You're talking about a tour where you have to use a bunch of gasoline. And this has just happened to my theater company. We have been planning to go to New York to do a show that we were asked to do by the Polish Cultural Arts Center or something like that. And Trapdoor Theater, shout out to all of our awesome artists. And we're supposed to go to New York. And in that time, the cost to go to New York has doubled. So there was a certain amount in the budget, you know, you budgeted for a certain thing. And now it's basically taking all the money that would have gone to the artists and putting it into the pocket of ExxonMobil or one of the bigger oil companies. And we were supposed to fly on Spirit Airlines and they freaking went under because of oil prices. So now we're scrambling to try to get another ticket or possibly spend even more time by driving. But that doesn't even make sense because who knows? Gas could be $7 a gallon by then. So if you want, so everybody's spending all this money that they didn't have. Nobody's getting a raise to cover any of this extra cost, where gas is the number one input in, well, labor is the number one input, but that's energy too. Gas is the number one input that goes into our food that needs to move all around the country, all around the world with gas. And so that's going to make everything cost more. Everything you buy moves around with gas. You move around with gas. So if you're looking at like, oh, I'm going to drive downtown and watch a baseball game, it doesn't matter that it's $8. What you don't want to spend is $20 to get there and back and $75 to park, which is what it costs on the Grace lot right now on certain games. It's just outrageous. You can park for free. I'm not going to tell you how. You got to become my friend to learn that. But, and there's lots of room. I got lots of room in my heart for more friends. But you got to be all sorts of other things too. But nobody has any money for this crap. That's my point. You know, you got a situation where the neighborhood all around Wrigley Field is gentrifying. Rents are outrageous. I've heard people's rent going up $400. One guy got kicked out of his place that I bought some patio furniture off this guy. He was selling everything because he can't afford where he lives. And he got kicked out. And now he's going to pay $900 more for a similar sized apartment. $900. So then you're telling me that people are going to go out to Wrigley Field and also pay like $15 a beer? Like, people don't want to go to the game just to like go to the game for $8. Like, you want to go eat and have a couple of beers. Well, now that $8 game is now $60, and people don't have it because they're putting it in their gas tanks right now. That's why the tickets are cheap. That's why the blue dotting world tours of concert artists are getting canceled. That's why my theater's having a tough time getting to New York. That's why the price of bobbleheads has died. And nobody has any money for this crap. Period. If you can't get, and Americans are in $20 trillion of personal debt. The only person more in debt is the country, which is double that. But personal debt, $20 trillion, $100,000 per household, I read. And I mean, I'm in mortgage debt, 200 grand I owe. I'm 52. Where are you going to get this money from? Not me. Not me. Good luck. My nieces and nephews will have to pay it off if they want the place. Anyhow, everybody's broke. but the Cubs are winning. So what can you do? I'm going to choose.